Welcome to Vermont Today. I'm your host, Terry Jeroloman, and my guests this time are Dennis Steele, Peter Garritano, and Robin Lloyd. Three of us are running for the election in November, on November 2nd. Dennis is running for governor, and Pete is running for lieutenant governor, and I'm running for the state senate from Chittenden County. Robin Lloyd is here to support us. Robin, would you like to tell us something about your background?
Well, I would define myself as a sympathetic skeptic in terms of the independence movement. I am an inveterate supporter of third parties. I ran for Congress back in 1980 and 82 on the Citizens Party ticket and have been a supporter of the Progressive Party really since then. And so I'm very interested in this new movement, and I'm very sympathetic to it, but I have a lot of questions as well.
You also participated in opposition to the School of the Americas, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I crossed the line, and when you cross the line, you know what's going to happen. The police are going to arrest you very politely and put you in jail for 3 months. So I experienced life in incarceration, which was a very interesting experience, to see the underside of the empire, the people who are put away and out of sight in our criminal injustice system.
Our country has a distinction of being the country which imprisons more people, a higher percentage of its population than any other country in the world. We even have more people in prison than the so-called Gulag archipelago of the Soviet era.
And of course, a lot of them are in for nonviolent offenses like drug offenses.
And like you were just there demonstrating peacefully. And
yeah, I committed the crime of putting my foot onto military property, which was forbidden, you know, at this demonstration that takes place once a year in Georgia, Fort Benning, Georgia.
And for that, how long did they put you into prison?
Well, anyone who does that is 3 months. If you do it twice, it's 6 months.
In federal prison?
Yeah. So I was in Danbury, Connecticut, a camp. It was not especially onerous, and the food was actually good.
Some of our
broccoli
viewers,
and everything.
Some of our viewers may not know what the School of the Americas is all about. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the School of the Americas is the way in which the U.S. empire maintains control, basically in Latin America. It's a training camp for soldiers from the governments of those countries. And the problem that's happened in recent years is those governments have become quite progressive and are not wanting to take part. Several of them, like Venezuela, is not, and Bolivia, are not sending their soldiers to be trained. But of course, the biggest participant now is Colombia, where the Plan Colombia is in force, and in fact the United States is enlarging bases there, 7 more bases to, quote, deal with the drug war, as well as, of course, the insurgency, and it's sort of become a beachhead for the U.S. empire in Latin America. So, you know, over the years, these soldiers have come and been trained, and basically they go back. There haven't been that many confrontations between states in Latin America. They go back and they oppress their own people, and many of them have been found to torture and massacre. So it's a very horrible aspect of our foreign policy that people around the country, and you know, especially Catholics, progressive Catholics, are very involved in trying to close the School of the Americas, because the whole thing was initiated by the murder of 6 Jesuits in El Salvador in 1989. And they were just slaughtered in their sleep by soldiers, 26 soldiers, of which 19 had been trained at the School of the Americas. So that propelled Roy Bourgeois, who's the founder of this movement, to say, I can't take it anymore. And he just started like a 1 or 2 person protest at the gates of this military camp where the soldiers are trained, and that has burgeoned into this huge movement. It's going to be happening again this year, November 19th, 20th, something like that, or 16th maybe.
Right after the election.
Yeah, yeah.
And Dennis, you're running for governor of Vermont.
Yes, sir.
How did you decide to, what made you decide to run for governor?
Well, you know, it's partly because I have 2 young children, and I'm really concerned about the future and the future of Vermont and for all of Vermont's children, and the fact that the United States government has lost its moral authority. It's owned, operated, and controlled by corporate America, Wall Street, and the Israeli lobby. The Israeli lobby controls our foreign policy. That's why we're in Afghanistan. That's why we're in Iraq. I found what's happening is that, you know, I served in the Army, but the reason I joined the Army was because I didn't have a choice. Well, I had a choice, but I wanted to go to college, but we didn't have any money. So you know, they hold a carrot stick up there. They can give you money for college, and that's what happens today. Is they're preying on the poor, and a lot of them are entering the military with the idea that, oh, I'll go for 3 years or 4 years, and I'll get some money for college. And really, we have to take into consideration how much we're spending on the Defense Department budget. For Vermont's pro rata share of the Defense Department budget is $1.5 billion per year. I mean, what could we do with that money? Maybe we could send our children to college so they don't have to join the military to get money for college. So that's one of the main reasons and focus, and my focus is to bring Vermont to an independent republic so that we can be done with that, and we don't have to worry about it. You know, in my opinion, we can't change Washington. It's ridiculous to change for Washington. I have some people while I've been running tell me that, well, you know, you should run for federal office. I'm like, what? Federal office? It's just ridiculous to think that you can change Washington. It's easier to change Vermont. Population 650,000, maybe 400,000, a little over 400,000 registered voters. We create a movement here. It will be easier to change Vermont, take us out of this insanity, and create a foreign policy of non-intervention, which is what Ron Paul was talking about in the presidential election in 2008.
Did they actually pay for your college?
I actually had $10,000 that I had, and I think I got to use maybe 5 of it, because what happens is if you don't use it, after 10 years you lose it. So you have to use it within that time frame. I think I used it right at the 9th year and had a portion of it paid for.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school in California. Started out in Linden State College, then you know, graduated from Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, California.
But really, $10,000 is nothing.
It's nothing. It's nothing. I had to borrow way more money to get it. I'm still paying my student loans off now. Yeah.
At UVM, I think, is $20,000 a year minimum.
Yeah.
To support yourself and four-year degree is. You
bring that up because one of the interesting things I've been doing some research is in China. Their children can go to college cost $200 and $4,400 a year to go to college. So that's why there's more educated people in China. Also in Switzerland, once you graduate from high school, you can continue on to college, and so they pay for their children's college, and it's because they're not wasting all this money on needless wars.